Okay, let's check out a book from the Doki Forest today. This one looks good. Let's try that. Hi friends, it's Amy at Doki Forest, and today I thought I would jump into an open collab I haven't done in a while. Today's Friday, so that means it is hashtag flipthroughfriday. And this is an open collab hosted by Kristina at Kristina's Shack. Feel free to search the hashtag, check out some other channels of who's jumping in and out each week. There's a lot of really creative ideas and amazing artists out there and creators just sharing all of their wonderful things that they've been up to. So, I haven't done this in a while because I didn't really feel like I have anything complete to share. But I did miss doing it. So I thought I would share with you my altered book that I started years ago. I believe it was in 2016. And then I just kind of started taking it out the end of last year and going in and doing a few things here and there. It's not finished. It's still a work in progress. But I still thought I would share with you what I've done so far. So here on the cover, as you can see, I have done some decorating. I did some painting, and I also tried to scratch into it to give it a bark kind of a look. If I flip it over, you can see the back. So this is how the book looked. And then this is how I've changed it. And I haven't done the back yet, obviously. And I added these corner tabs here and here. I haven't done the back again. I haven't done the back ones yet. And then I covered up the spine with this fabric that I just used a bunch of paint on. It was a blue strip of fabric, light blue, and I wanted to make it more of a green. I was trying to give it a mossy kind of an appearance. So that's what I was going for there. Let me see, I'll put it this way. You can have a good look at that. And then I just have this ribbon to hold it closed because it does get a little chunky there. And I did spray the edges, and I used, you know it, Cares Fun Sprays. My take at the lake. I'll put that down below. But by this time, I think you know that most of my videos I'm using Cares Fun Sprays. And you should too, because they are really fun. So book your stay at the Fun Spray Spa. Let's see, here's the little kawaii star. And I just attached that. It was really easy because there's so many little spots. You can just get a little clasp in there. And then these are just wooden pieces I painted and glued on. And then I was trying to attach some flowers. I say trying to because they are attached, but I feel like they're just probably going to rub off. I might put some Mod Podge over them. I was actually thinking I might put a little sparkle Mod Podge over them. So let's get into it. And let's untie this and see what we have so far. So here it is once you untie the ribbon. And here's the inside cover, not too much. I think my son might have put this in. This was from one of his Scholastic orders. They would give you free stickers. Read a good book, you'll never forget. I wrote left for a long time, then came back in November 2022. And then I actually left it again for a really long time, and I just picked it up like a couple weeks ago. So here's when I started. October 15th, 2016, and my son has done some artwork in there, which I love. I always tried to get my boys to come over and draw or write something in my sketch journals or whatever I was working on, because of course I love to go back and see that and see the little name. And this is just me doodling. Let's see, I crossed everything out except for inspiring, informing, and thank. And I started this whole altered book because years ago I signed up for a soul collage retreat, and as part of that you could also participate in an altered bookmaking day. So they just said, you know, all you have to bring is a book, and so I did. This was just a book that was 25 cents at the library, so I grabbed it, brought it up, And then we just worked on ripping out the pages and gluing them together, getting it ready, and then it was just have fun and play. For some reason, I felt overwhelmed. It was almost like when you get a new journal and you're like, but what do I do? Which is kind of funny because it's like, well, just do anything, you know? Paint, use marker, whatever you want to do. But, yeah, I remember not really being sure. And even now, sometimes I'm not sure. So here we go. We've got Gavin's autograph there again. Squeak, a little mouse he drew, and the little, I believe, a cat. And then here's an eye that I just drew and then did some watercolor. So this is like the very beginning. And then we have a cat with some shiny ink on that side. This looks like my cat, Honey, except for the coloring. But I had a big tortoiseshell cat named Honey, and she was amazing. So it's definitely her face and her poofy fur. And this was just like, I guess I was attempting a little collage there, and then a little leopard pattern, a regular leopard pattern, and then it goes into like a rainbow spot kind of pattern. And then we have Nurture the New You. And here's a fish, which you can see, of course. And I did a little bit of stamping. Healing Arts. And then you can see I was just doodling and painting, doing some dots. For a second I thought that was like some pencil sketch right there, but it's actually just part of this magazine image there. Then we've got some stamps. I always love stamps. I love collecting stamps from around the world. And here I tried to glue in this hyacinth plant. And, you know, you can see a lot of the glue. I thought it would dry clear, but it's white, which probably means it was too globby. And yeah, that's just going to come off. So I don't know. Again, this book is a lot of experiments. Doodle. So I will probably go in and do something all here. And again, more doodling. And this is just marker. Momentous Discovery. And here is a snake doodle. And part of me wants to paint this, and part of me just kind of likes it being black and white like this. And I like how when you spray the edges, some of it bleeds down into the pages. I love that look. Some collage with some stamping. And this is something that I came in and did recently. I already had the magazine image of the girl, but there was nothing else. So I just went back like a couple months ago, and I was adding the stairs, and I thought it would be kind of cool to have her in this tower or build structure, whatever this building is. And I added some glitter. You see the glitter? Probably. And then I was thinking maybe I'll go back in with the white pen to do some detail on the rock. But again, I don't know. I might just leave it alone. It's the thing with these kind of journals. You know, you can just keep going back in, adding something. This was one of my original pages I made at the retreat. But I did just go in and add the black lines and the white Posca pen here. So the images were here, the flower and the acrylic paint, but I went back in to just sort of add some detail outline here and add some lines around the edges to sort of frame it. These are some original pages as well. We have this lady on this side, and I just put some glitter on some of those flower petals, and then I made a little glitter swirl. And then there's like a medieval looking sort of character over there with a lot of stamping. And this must have been someone else's stamp because I don't recognize it. So this must have been people brought different materials to the workshop to use, so I must have been using something they brought because I love it, but I definitely don't recognize it. But I like this color combo too. And this is another one of the original pages with some little cards, and then this was a little picture. Looks like Guinevere or Lady of the Lake or something like that. And I did just add the white and the black lines here as well. So all the acrylic was here, but I was just sort of adding some movement to it. And this page is waiting for something. I haven't found what it is yet. And there's a bunch of pages like that, so you'll see more of them. And then these are more original pages, so I had some collage elements going on here with some paint. Can you see the... Of course, I like that character up there. There's like some wolves, and she's got horns. Or maybe it's a helmet, but either way, it's a horned helmet, so I love that. You can hear the little star every time I put the book up and down. That little star. Some more artwork here, and this is like oil pastels. So that's me just trying to use something different, trying to come up with a new idea. And this is a more recent page, which I'm trying to make sure the glare is not on there. So I had this image of the lady, and I added a wing and horns and a dragon tail. And then I just put this like collage on the side, on the other side, and this isn't done. There's probably more to come. There's actually something else under here, and I didn't like it anymore, so I covered it up. I just didn't think it was my kind of style, so I covered it up. And then this is me using pastels. Now pastels always come off, right? They always seem to come off on the fingers. Is there a way to seal this? I mean, do you just put Mod Podge on it, or do you put like deli paper in between to keep it from blending with... I don't care if it blends with this page, but I'm not sure how to preserve that. But I don't know if I want to cover it with like any kind of a Mod Podge sort of thing yet, because I don't think these are done. And this is the beginning of a forest here. I have my trees and I have my painted background, and now I'm just going to go back in and maybe finish off the trees up here and add some other characters or something down there. And this is, I like this pattern. It's got some glitter in there. And then over here we have our Mushroom Cat Explorers. So here they are. They're traveling through this mysterious jungle. What will they find? And I feel like I should put something that they found like over here, or something they're about to find over here. And then this was one of my pages that I was just using the jelly plate and then rubbing off on here and stamping on the jelly plate and then stamping the extra on these pages. And that's how a lot of these pages are. They're actually from jelly plate printing. And this was a picture of Heidi Klum with this butterfly hat on, but I decided I didn't want it to look like Heidi Klum. I just wanted it to be a random butterfly, dark fairy sort of a character. So I drew on her eyes, and I gave her lipstick and fangs, and then I made her hair longer. I gave her long nails, and then I gave her big butterfly wings like the monarchs that she has up there. And this is another, these are more pages just from the jelly plate, just stamping. This is bubbles, using like the bubble wrapping and putting it in paint and then just stamping it on here. And I actually really love, you know, how these pages come out even more than the actual jelly print papers that I'm making. Oh, this one needs to be glued again. That's okay. And again, this is more from the jelly plate printing. You can see like there's some stamping here. We've got like a stamp there, and then like I was gonna say mushroom, an acorn foam stamp there, and a stencil swirly pattern here. And I will put something probably in here, but I actually just like looking at this so much. But I think I could probably fit a little something, even if I just put a little creature in there or something. And again, this is just more from the jelly plate. And I love how these colors all combine too, because I wasn't trying to make anything that looked nice. I'm literally just wiping things off. So for all I know, these pages could all turn brown, but they sort of dry enough in between as you're putting your extra on here that some of it blends a little bit, but a lot of it just kind of layers. And then that's when you get like, you know, it's neat seeing all the different layers of colors on top of each other. So again, I'll probably add something to this, but I also just like it as is. And this page I just added to, so I had the background. Again, it was more of, this is just my roller that I rolled off after the jelly plate. But I had this beautiful napkin that was sent to me by Birdie, the recycled hippie chick. And thank you, Birdie. I wanted to use some of it in here because I thought the colors would go really well. And, you know, I'll put something else here. I don't know what. And that's kind of the fun of it. You know, you can do part of a page and then flip to another random page and do part of it and then part of it, you know, just as you find things or as the mood strikes you. And this was another jelly plate, and then I added this picture. You can see more bubble wrap. Bubble wrap is just really cool. More jelly plate. This was when I was doing my like 80s colors. And this one looks very springy. This is more jelly plate. You know, I think you can tell. But it's very springy. So I'm going to add to that and make that some kind of botanical, or maybe add some birds, or maybe I'll make it dragons and unicorns. I don't know. And this was also another page. It was just extra. It started with just extra paint I wiped off. And then I added, I was again experimenting. These were dried flower petals. So these ones were pressed and these ones were dried. So this was me just trying to see if they would just crumble when I tried to attach them or if they would actually stick. And they did actually stick. They didn't crumble. Because they're so dry, I just didn't know if they would turn to dust. And then I have this picture of some sort of a cocktail with like tentacles coming out. And then I just painted black to kind of cover the edges. And then I started adding more, and I think there's still probably more to come for those pages. And this one was more excess paint, and then I added some glitter. So it's very shiny. And then I thought she just looked beautiful here. I love the pose, and I love how she looks with this background. I think these might be the fun sprays too. So I think it already had the acrylic, and then I sprayed on some fun sprays. That's what it looks like. And then I added this lovely lady. And this is more excess paint that needs a little something. And this was another page. It was the same thing, but I started to add to it. So I was going with the purple here, and I brought in this eye, and I liked her dress. I thought that went. And I think that's all I've done so far. I started to put black around the edges to try to obscure the magazine edges. And of course, I mean, you can still see them, but just to kind of try to make it blend a little bit more into the page. And I know I've got some flappy pieces here, but I kind of like that. I kind of, right now I should say, I kind of like that. I love this eye. And this is some old drawing I did with oil pastel. And then I just went in and painted. It's very shimmery. And here we've got some tissue that was glued on. And then a nice dewy dandelion. And it says, my time, my place, myself. And some little books with flowers. And this isn't done yet either. And this page I was creating thinking of like 70s colors. So like the colors that were really popular in the 70s. So, you know, you got to have your yellow, your orange, your pea green, your red. So I started with that, and then I was just finding images that also had some of those colors. And here are my magic pups. These are little pups, and they have horns, and they are quite magical. All pups are magical. These ones just have a little extra. And these were actually like ladies' nails. Like really fancy ladies' nails. And I thought, well, I'm going to make those into a crown. And then I thought, you know what? They're going to be horns. So here's two little magic beastie pups. And this was me using the modeling paste. So it's got some nice texture there with some gold. And I haven't figured out what else is going on the page, but I like this gold with this blue. I think that looks pretty nice together. And this one, I think I was using the Neo crayons and then just smudging them, I think. And I began to add some collage to it. Work in progress. And this one again, I painted it and added some gold on the edges like a frame. Added some collage. And this one's a combination of sea and space. Not sure how the story connects, but I just liked these things together. Got some stamps, some crayon, stamps, acrylic, collage. I love this little polar bear. You see him? And this one was going to be like my 80s page. So I was getting my colors ready, and then I liked the colors in these pictures, and this crow, their head is cut off, but I thought I could continue and draw the crow head and finish that, and then finish the rainbow here and maybe make some more of this. So stay tuned. And then on this one, I've got like copper and green. Little snake skin there. And then this one is just like, let's try everything on one page. We've got stamp, we've got some dots, we've got some tissue here that it just blends right in. You can barely even tell it's tissue. It just looks like it's stamped on the page. And we've got magazine images. Just trying lots of different things. And a toucan. Must be one of Janet Nash's toucans. And this page, I love how this color came out. And this was me using those Lindy's Gang sprays. I'm blanking out on what exactly they're called. But I was spraying some of the, I think it was even called Forest Moss. And I loved how that looked. And I thought this just kind of picked up some of the same coloring or mood. So I liked that. I feel like I'm going to add like a big frog here. And toad. Maybe frog and toad. It's like those kind of colors. And this one is just a lot of ripped up paper that I painted and just tried to... Basically my goal on this page was just to make a mess. Make a mess on the papers. I had some labels too. And then just stick them all in here. And that is the end. I didn't do anything with these pages. Oh, a little character was appearing there. And here's a little bear to see you on your way. And that is my first ever altered book that is still a work in progress. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you had a favorite page, or if you have any suggestions, like, oh, you know, look at this. I would love to know. Thank you so much for stopping by, and be sure to check out the hashtag and see who else is jumping in. I know Janet Nash usually jumps in, and sometimes Care My Take It to Lake jumps in, and Kristina, of course, from Kristina's Shack, she shared many things, and Possum Patty jumps in sometimes. So there's just a lot of creators. So yeah, check out the hashtag, check out everybody, and I will see you next time. I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care, everybody.